going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Chase, and I was watching that 70s show, reruns of that 70s show, scrolling through my Twitter feed, and I come across an ignorant post. It was about Stan Lee, so it caught my eye. And the post said, "This is proof that Stan Lee was biphobic." My head about lost it. Okay? Like, I got triggered. I got triggered heavily. A, I love Stan Lee. I love what he created. And B, Stan Lee is dead. Okay? I'm not saying there ain't some criticisms out there, but when you're going this ignorant and just being completely ridiculous, okay, there's a line that has to be drawn. So the tweet in reference is referring back to this video that was taken about probably 6 years ago now. It was back in 2013. And Stan Lee was responding to a question in regards to Peter Parker's sexuality and him being bisexual. And Stan Lee responded with a lot of common sense, actually. So to give you an idea, let's just watch that video real quick.
Says Peter Parker requesting that Spiderman become bisexual.
Who says he's becoming bisexual? Who have you been talking to? I don't know. Seriously, I don't know anything about that. And if it's true, I'm going to make a couple of phone calls. I figure one sex is enough for anybody. Thank you.
Okay, so there you have it. That's what he said. I don't think there was anything biphobic in what he said. He's talking about an established character, and he said, no, there would be no reason for him to be bisexual. Like, it's as if, like, I gotta say, like younger millennial, I'm a millennial, but I'm talking like younger millennials and like Generation Z. It's as if they think that Marvel history began in 2008 with Iron Man. And that's where it all began. Not back way in the 50s, and Spiderman specifically in the 60s. Like, this is a character that Stan Lee created and was developed over, what has it been, 40 years, 50 years of development on this character? Like, yes, Peter Parker is heterosexual. Period. That's it. End of story. Now, if you want to get crazy, you can go, obviously we know there's other Spidermans. How you would say it? Spider people. Okay? In the Spider-Verse, the multiverse, you can literally create a Spider-Man that's bisexual. Out of thin air. And there would be context and there would be reasoning for it. But no, they have to go after Peter Parker specifically. Because that's where it is. That's where it would mean, if anything, that's where it would mean something is going there. Because they know if they go after, they know if they create a character out of thin air, and that is where its crux is based on that character's sexuality, it's going to fail. Nobody wants it. Nobody would care about that character. So they have to attack an established character. So yeah, I can see why Stan Lee would be like, no, man, I would have to make a few phone calls. Like, I really think Spider-Man, of all the Marvel characters, I this is my personal belief, I really think that Spider-Man was Stan Lee's kind of just, that was his baby child. Like, that was his baby, was Spider-Man. So I can definitely see where he's coming from like if I had a character that I had grown with for 40 something years, and all of a sudden changes were wanting to be made to that character, I probably would get a little, I don't know, I might have some funny remarks about it. So I just want to read something that Stan Lee actually said in regards to this whole gender bending and race swapping and all this funny stuff that happens in comics and in Marvel movies and DC as well, whatever. He says, I think the world has a place for gay superheroes. Certainly, he said. But again, I don't see any reason to change the sexual proclivities of a character once they've already been established. I have no problem with creating new homosexual superheroes. It has nothing to do with being anti-gay or anti-black or anti-Latino or anything like that, Lee said. Latino characters should stay Latino. The Black Panther should certainly not be Swiss. I see no reason to change that which has already been established when it's so easy to add new characters. I say create new characters the way you want to. Hell, I'll do it myself. I don't know how much clearer that can be. And that is what people like me, that's what we say all the time. If you want a gay superhero, create one. No, their only purpose is to infiltrate and do it because they're too lazy to create their own characters. They don't want to create their own characters because they know, like I said, they know if they tried to do it, it would just fail. Because they don't know how to actually create a character. They don't know how to give a character trials, how to give a character super lows and depressed states, and then to rise them up. Like when you read an SJW character, it is just so, there is no consequence to their actions. There's no struggle that they have. They're great at everything. They're just those Mary Sue type characters that you grow absolutely no emotional attachment to. Zero. Literally, if they died, you wouldn't care. What they do is then they just latch on to Iceman. He's gay. Even though for 40 years, Iceman was the biggest ladies' man in the world. And then all of a sudden, he's gay. And guess what? That whole comic series failed. And then because it sold so well, they brought it back and it failed again. So, anyway, I'm getting off on a real rant, and I just wanted to bring up Stan Lee. The point of this video is, I didn't want to do a video on this because I thought it was just, honestly, I thought it was just stupid and I didn't want to give attention to it. But here I am, I'm giving attention to it. But the reason why I am is because Stan Lee isn't here anymore. Okay? And there are valid criticisms you could give and you can attribute to Stan Lee. There are. I'm not saying he was a saint. None of us are. But to go and just label this blatant just... I don't think I've ever heard biphobic yet before this instance. To just literally make up a label and put it on him is just cruel, and it's just evil to do that. So I just want to make this video to just bring awareness. Like when you see this, just call it out or ignore it. Like just don't give it the attention, or call it out and just call it for what it is. It's stupid. Anyway, if you like this video, please go down and like it. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and also hit the bell so you get notifications. And yeah, sorry for kind of downer video, but it like I said, I was scrolling and I got triggered, man. It triggered me. Anyway, have a great day, guys, and peace out.